Hello?
Hello?
I'm waiting on you.
Oh, you're waiting on me?
Yeah.
I need a script to remember all of this.
Oh my God. You want to say the thing now?
Do what?
You want to say the thing now?
Okay, I'll say the thing now. Count me down.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the Sandwich of Coherency with Brian and Ashley. We are here Mondays through Saturdays. We hope you take the time to sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy. So let's jump right into what we want to talk about today.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was good. I like that. Well, Miss Ashley, what do you have on your wheelhouse today?
So it's going to be a little bit different from what you normally do, but as we know, I love crime. I love murder mysteries and all that good stuff. So I kind of wanted to...
don't you mean murder porn?
Oh, God, don't use that word. That's horrible. So I wanted to talk about a case that I found very interesting because they are referring to this woman, if you'd like to call her, or monster. They are considering her the female Jeffrey Dahmer.
Really?
So this is a fairly new case as well. It happened February 23rd of this year.
Nice.
So her name is Taylor Shabusiness.
Wait.
Don't know. Shabusiness.
Oh my God. What is your business? I'm sorry.
I mean, apparently her business is a little deep, but my take on it is she had changed her name for IG purposes, maybe, I don't know, to get followers or something like that. And also she has a husband that is in prison, and apparently he goes by the same last name, but those are not their last names. So who knows what they're doing.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
What did she do? What was Taylor's business?
Well, Miss Shabusiness's business. First off, she's 24. So this chick's really young. So basically, she has a lover. Like I said, she has a husband that's in prison, but she has what they call a lover or boyfriend or what have you. His name's Shad. Well.
Oh, wait. Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. You got to.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an article. And you got to say his name right. You got to say his name right.
It's Shad.
It's Shad Rock.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, man. I'm looking at I'm looking at his picture, and dude looks cool as shit. Like, he just looks like he's out to have a good time, and this woman looks like a damn Black Widow. Like this, she looks, neck tattoos and everything.
Right. And then if you see her actual mugshot, it gets worse. Like, you can see pictures of her that she probably posted on IG and stuff like that. And I mean, she's not a bad looking girl, I guess, but yeah, she's evil. But all of this took place in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Like I said, it was in February of this year. But basically, the articles say she's a monster. Family of man 24 hit out a married woman accused of choking him to death with chain during drug-fueled sex, carving up his body and leaving his head in a bucket for his mother to find.
Okay, now see, you did tell me a little bit about this.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the full details? Well, not well, to a degree, without, I guess, within reason. There might be children listening or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll try to minimalize it. But first, let me go ahead and just tell you, because on the 22nd, 2 days ago, she actually was in court with the criminal complaint. So her charges are count 1, first-degree intentional homicide, and it says repeater. Count 2, mutilating a corpse, repeater. Count 3, third-degree sexual assault, repeater. So those are the 3 charges.
What does the repeater mean?
Well, basically, she has been into a lot of trouble. She's been on probation, parole, you name it, she's done it. And actually, when the cops finally went to her house and she walked outside, they were like, "Do you know why we were here?" And she said, "Yes, my violation of my parole." Like, that's what she thought that they were there on. So, yeah, she was on, had an ankle monitor and all of that. So she's been charged with a lot of stuff. She has a very long criminal list.
Damn. But what did she do? That's what I want to know.
In this case or the other ones?
Oh, geez. I guess let's start with this one. How did we get here?
Okay, this is how we got here. So, like I said, she has a husband. He's in prison, and she actually just recently became a mom to a son, which is great. So her take on it is, her and Shad had been doing drugs, so they were smoking methamphetamine. They were also smoking marijuana, and they were taking trazodone, which is a sedative, and it's used for like antidepressant means and things of that nature. So apparently the mom knew of Taylor and Shad's relationship. So on the 21st, 2 days prior to this happening, on the 23rd, the mother heard Shad and Taylor down in the basement talking, because that's where Shad kind of hung out. That was his headquarters, whatever, where he stayed. She kind of heard them talking, didn't think anything of it. She's like, okay, they're down there. And then it was like about 3 a.m. in the morning, and the mom hears like a car door slam. And she was like, okay, maybe that's Taylor leaving, because Taylor does have her own residence. So the mom decides to go downstairs and kind of check on Shad. Well, when she looks around, she kind of just, when she first comes down, she witnessed like a bucket that was on the floor, and there was like a beach towel that was covering the bucket. So when the mom lifted that beach towel, she was like, this is odd. This is kind of off. She found her son's decapitated head inside this bucket.
Oh, geez. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Apparently that's Taylor's business.
That's her business. But the mom found out. So the mom was just going down there checking on her son. She walks up the stairs and it's like, this is weird. What's this bucket? What's this blanket or towel? Pulls it off, and there's her son's head.
Where
so you can just imagine what was going through that mom's head.
Yeah, like, where's the body? That's probably her first thought.
Yeah, like, where's the rest of my son?
Yeah.
So, obviously the mom calls the cops. So they obviously seen the bucket, with the towel, lifted the towel, head was inside. They also noted that there was a dried blood on a nearby mattress. And it didn't take them long to go to Taylor's house. So once they went to her house, like I said, she came out the door because they were kind of surrounding like her van and looking to make sure that was her residence. She comes out and she had like a sweatshirt and sweatpants on. And apparently from things that I have listened to, it was all black. So if you can imagine, this girl comes out dressed from head to toe in black. However, she's covered in blood, dried blood, cuts on her hands, blood on her hands, scratches on her arms. And at one point, the cops were like, she's like, yeah, you're here because of probation parole violation. And they're like, looking at her like, you're covered in blood, like,
Bitch, you've been rolling in blood. Oh, like did you roll around in it? I mean, seriously, like.
And it's crazy because she's all in black too, and they can see the dried blood. And then at one point in the interrogation, they were asking her about the blood and things like that. And she was like, "Oh, it's just something that I self-harmed myself." In other words, trying to say whatever to cover that blood up, but. Nonetheless, it was all over her hands, her arms, and her whole body. So
yeah, if you're self-harming that much blood, you'd be in the hospital.
Yeah. So, like I said, she said they had been doing drugs. So the cops they actually found drugs in the house, a glass pipe and a bag with powder in it. They found his head in the bucket. And then when they had told Taylor that, she goes, "Oh, that's pretty effed up."
Huh? What?
Yeah, she's just like, "That's effed up." Like she is trying to play dumb. Like, what? That's effed up.
Holy shit. Yeah, but where's the dude's body at?
Okay. Well, so she was asked, what happened in the basement, and she was like, "That's a good question," because she's like, she claims she had blacked out. So going through the motions, she ends up starting to talk. So basically, apparently, her and Shad like to have adult moments that involved chains, things of that nature. That's kind of their thing they were into. Well, one of the chains was kind of like a dog collar, and it's one of those ones where if your lead is on the dog and you pull it, the chain gets tighter around his neck. So Shad was face down on the bed, and she put the collar behind him and just kept pulling and pulling and pulling. Well, she started seeing blood coming out of his mouth, and she said that she just didn't want to, she just kept pulling and choking him harder. She kind of just wanted to see what was going to happen. Because she said, I could feel his heart beating and everything, but I just wanted to see what would happen.
Bro, that's dark.
So he's coughing up blood and everything. And basically she said she was just waiting for him to die. She said she knew that he was dead because his face was purple and there was blood still coming from his mouth. So she was like, "Okay, I'm already this far, so I'm just not going to stop now."
Huh? What?
And then at one point, when they had asked her, go back a little bit when they tell her about the head in the bucket, she verbatimly says, "Damn, the head? I can't believe I left the head, though." And then she tells the officers that they were going to have fun trying to find all the organs, and she has dismembered his body.
Oh my! Oh, what?
So she's like, "Dang, y'all felt the head? Well, have fun finding the rest of his body and organs."
Yo, that's a cruel bitch right there. That is dark.
Mm-hmm. So, also in the criminal complaints, so she had said, she was asked a question, and she goes, "Yeah, I liked it," when referred to choking him. Here's some more kicker on this one. So they asked her, once you realized he was dead, like, what did you do after that? So she then go on to say that she played with his body. So Taylor says that she performed oral on Shad's male parts, and that she also used a toy to which she inserted into Shad's mouth and other parts of Shad's body.
I don't think I want to finish drinking my chocolate milk.
And this is all post-mortem. So apparently she played with him 3 hours after he was dead.
Taylor just ruined my chocolate milk, man.
So, of course, one of the questions is, okay, you're doing all of this. Well, how did his head get there? Where's the rest of his body? They ask her. She's like, I just went upstairs into his mom's kitchen, got some knives. And she told them where they could find the knives at. They were in a black bag, along with some body parts. And she did state that her favorite knife to use was a bread knife because it was serrated and made it more effective to cut through the bones.
Okay, so death penalty, yeah?
The what?
Death penalty, yeah? I don't see a need to store this person in prison for the next 50 years. I know that sounds cruel. All right, look, that sounds a little mean. But, death penalty?
Yeah. It's crazy what she did. And then, they're saying, well, is it she's just a monster or is it because of the drugs? So, there could be something, she was found guilty, but, there could always be an appeal, mental insanity, drug related, what have you. Who knows?
But given when they found her afterwards and her statements she made afterwards, would she have been sober then?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long they had been up, how much they were doing. It could be possible that she was sober, given the fact that the police did find a pipe and the powdery substance still there. So she wasn't, in a state of mind that addicts get, to where if she was fleeing the scene or what have you, she didn't take the drugs with her. So, who knows? She could have maybe got sober during this act or came to. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I see her probably getting less than 40 years?
I have no clue. It's crazy. And one of the things, too, is, the mom found the head in the bucket. Well, also what was found in the bucket was Shad's male parts were in the bucket, along with some other organs and things of that nature.
His huevos?
Yes, with his head.
Oh.
So his legs and other body parts were actually found in a crock pot.
Oh.
In the back of her minivan.
Oh. What?
And when asked, you know, why this was in the back of her minivan, she was like, "Oh, I planned to take the body parts with me, but I just got lazy."
Was she gonna cook him?
And who knows? It's a huge possibility. Why else would she have legs and arms and stuff in a crock pot in the back of her minivan, and then she just got lazy? So if you're doing meth and all of this stuff, I would take it you ain't that lazy, because you should be jacked up, ready to cook some male stew.
I'm sorry. I mean, if she's coherent enough to be able to say, "Yeah, I was lazy."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. That's pretty, cognizant. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just wrong, man. That is some evil stuff right there.
It is.
She needs Jesus.
So on Tuesday, they basically set her bond at $2 million, and she's facing life in prison if she is convicted.
Why would we even give her a bond?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, why would you even release that person?
Who knows?
Like, there's some people that do some things that, look, I mean, they probably should be kept inside.
Yeah.
I mean, I would personally see this woman as a flight risk, if anything.
Oh, 100%. Especially that the idea is that her husband that was in prison has been released. And the reason why people are saying that is because he's updated his Facebook status to say that he stands by his wife. So everyone's under the impression that he is out. So, yeah, huge probability that could be a flight risk. He could, have some ties or something to kind of get her away from everything. Well, who knows?
I remember you mentioned before him standing behind her seems a little odd.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that she may have some dirt on him, so he's going to stick by her so she doesn't kind of rat on things that she may know that he has done. And they are also saying that they think that they were going through some text messages between her and Shad, and he had sent something like, "I promise I won't tell what you did." And this was like a day prior to this murder. So people are thinking, was he hiding a secret? Maybe she got scared he was going to tell. Is this the first time she's killed someone? Or, so there's kind of things like that up in the air as well.
This lady got bodies.
Yeah, so that's why they're trying to call her the female Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, this lady got bodies. For real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just no remorse right there. You've had to have seen some shit to be that, to lack any remorse in that. You know what I mean? And I guess, depending on what her husband did that landed him in prison, I'm pretty sure he's probably got some bodies too. I'm not going to defame the guy and say, oh, he does, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
It's very true. I'm trying to see what her previous charges were.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she probably got some drug charges and God knows what else.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure of her husband's name, but it seems like he was in there for a while, and because she had recently had a son, I believe he's maybe about a year old. He was in prison at the time, so they're thinking that that's not even his child. And so who knows what she's out here doing.
Jeez, man. It is just bad. What is wrong with people these days? Well,
They're ridiculously crazy. And this is something that I didn't necessarily hear of. I have, notifications set up on YouTube and things like that. And I happened to watch one of my YouTubers cover this, and I was like, I haven't heard of this. And it happened February of this year. And I'm like, wow, you would think that this would be kind of, louder than what it is.
well, I'm pretty sure it's the surrounding circumstance. I'm not going to say, I'm going to say it without saying it, but it's probably something about the surrounding circumstances in today's political climate, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
When some things just don't fit the narrative.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, especially when it's, and that I will say that's one thing I have noticed, is that you will see that depending on how heinous the crime is. Like, if it's an extremely heinous crime, you really don't hear too much coverage.
Yeah.
Something.
I did see that the family had like a GoFundMe up for Shad. I guess to help with all the cost of burial and things of that nature. So I guess because it is all current and she was back in court 2 days ago, they wanted to get the complaint out. I think we might start hearing more about it now that the complaint and everything's out.
I guess got no choice now.
I see her previous arrests were, they include fleeing and eluding officers, felony bail jumping, possessing drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer, battery on a law enforcement officer, and operating with a suspended license.
Yeah, she's a flight risk.
Yeah, and these were back in 2020.
Oh, yeah, she's running.
Yeah, and she had been on 3 years of probation, 60 days in jail. So yeah, all of this. So she was on probation when this happened.
She's running,
and she's lived all over. She's lived in San Antonio, Houston, and Temple, and Cotulla, Texas, and in Wisconsin as well. So she changed her name to Taylor Denise Coronado to Taylor Denise Shabusiness in 2018.
I'm telling you, she got a body somewhere. Might not find it, but it's out there in the desert somewhere. Man, that's dark. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah. Is your
Oh, this is what her husband said. On Shabusiness's husband's Facebook page, he calls her Queen Taylor Shabusiness. And on it, he wrote, I do trust my beautiful wife. I will do anything to protect her. Stay strong, baby boo. I love you.
Yeah, she got something on him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. He got somebody somewhere.
And it's a long post. He calls himself King Poppy Boo Shabusiness.
Oh my God. Is he from New Jersey?
I have no clue, but listen at this part. He goes, like this post is really long, okay? It says, to make sure my queen knows that no matter if we are apart or not, that I will do whatever is necessary to get her back next to me. Never will I give up on her, nor will I ever lose confidence in our Shabusiness empire. My word has been my word to her. My word to her will never change. She knows better than anyone that I mean what I say and say what I mean. Now, baby, I promise you that I'm going to be coming to get you. It's your golden year, and best believe you'll be in my arms for it. Baby, stay strong and always know that your king knows how to do one thing and one thing only. That's right. We know best. The Shabusiness shuffle hustle. Now calm down, smile, and tell yourself with confidence that you're doing a good job. It's only a matter of time before you're home, baby. Till then, know that I'm here for you. Never have or will I give up on us. We will get through this obstacle struggle together. Baby girl, it's been tough not having you by my side. You're what motivates me to stay sane, because nothing or no one ever could replace the feeling I get when I'm next to your sexy ass. For real, though. Be ready, because I'm going to get you soon. I promise, baby. So she's the one that keeps him sane?
Okay, so 1, she's never coming home, buddy. 2, what the hell kind of prison poetry was that? Oh my God.
Her last public Facebook post was on the January 13th of this year. She wrote, went off and told an addict, I'll never stop buying you dope so I could sit back and watch you die. It says also on January 13th, she wrote on Facebook, I got hitched to show them my commitment, loyalty, and dedication to them. That I was never going to be how I used to be. They then turn around and F on me. There's no way I'll ever go into another relationship. Hashtag can't trust no one. Who is them?
I'll be honest with you. I barely understood what the hell she was trying to say.
Yeah, like who? I got hitched to show them my commitment, loyalty, and dedication to them. Like, girl, what you talking about?
Oh, hey, maybe that's his pronouns.
True. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. You never know. Because, I mean, I don't know, you heard what you just read that he said. He might not be all there, too.
No, 100% not.
You know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So, prosecutor says she is a flight risk and had been on electronic monitoring as part of the probation from her 2020 convictions, but had somehow cut off her GPS device, the news station reports. Saunders said in court the case is one of the most serious offensive we've had in this county in some time. Yeah, I do remember someone saying that she cut off her GPS device.
I'm focusing on the in some time. I think you know what? I'm curious to know what you'll find that they've done in that county before.
Well, it seems to be, there's friends that are commenting and things about her. And one of her friends was like, I'm one of the few sober friends that she has. So it must be a very highly drug-oriented community. So where there's drugs, there's crime.
I'm one of the few sober friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's probably one of a whole bunch of people's few sober friends. Like seriously, they could probably all fit in one booth at a bar.
100%. There ain't no way that they're doing all these drugs and they have sober friends around them. That's not how addicts work.
No, not really. Wow. Well, yes. Well, there's your dark murder stories. Oh my gosh, for the night.
Yeah, I thought that one was interesting when I watched it. I was like, what?
Okay.
I haven't heard this one, and this one is one of the more crazier ones that I've read, and there's a lot more in detail. Obviously, you don't want to say certain things, but she was crazy for 3 hours while this guy was passed away. She's just sitting there having a ball with him.
Oh my God. Okay, for everybody listening that's now in a very confused and different space, I'm going to bring you a little bit of happiness and let you know that the San Diego Zoo If you, this is, I'm not, look, I'm not trying to do a plug or anything, but just so you know, they have an app, and you can look at penguins. I just want you to know that you can watch penguins jumping in the water.
So cute. That'll take your mind off of the head that jumped into the bucket.
Yes, but yes, penguins. They're cute. They're cuddly, sort of. Until you find out what they really do. But yes, they're cute. You ever seen puffins?
Yes, they are adorable. They have them at, I think, Ashboro Zoo. They're so cute.
Yes. I mean, all they do is just run and jump in the water.
They do. Now it's the older penguins that scare the life out of me because they're tall and they look so mean.
Did you know that there's like prehistoric penguins that used to be like over 6 feet?
No. I would have a heart attack.
That's a lot of penguins.
Like stroke, pass out, die.
God forbid one of those comes rocketing at you in the ocean. But yeah, penguins and puffins.
Yeah, go take a quick break before bed and look that up and get this off your mind.
Yeah, Care Bears. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so